Hello everybody and welcome back to Chellington 17. As one of my viewers did quite rightly point out, this is episode 17 on Chellington 17, playing Farming Simulator 17. There are quite a few 17s involved. Anyway, yes, I would have probably totally overlooked that. What I've got here is a trailer, as you can probably tell, with a tractor. The purpose of this is pretty obvious, it's to put the wood chips into. I was told that if you put the chips directly onto the ground, you lose about 10%. Now whether or not that is true or not, I'm not too sure. I'm guessing it is. But either way, that is obviously very bad. It's making our time not really worth it, especially as the price of wood chips is horrific. So this time we are going to put them straight into the trailer, which I probably should have done in the first place. So we'll put the Matthew Ferguson there. But yes, the winning votes from yesterday was to do some more forestry. This will probably be the last forestry episode for the time being, but we're going to try and make it worth it. Another very good suggestion was to cut down all of the trees that we need first of all, and then we'll load them all into the chipper that way. Otherwise we'll be cutting a tree down, then loading this thing, and then it'll be sat there with its engine blaring away at full RPM, and then we'll finally come back with another tree and it'll be processed. So it's not very efficient doing it that way. We're going to try and make it much more efficient. So, oh yeah, just remember this thing doesn't have steering, so we're actually going to have to move it with the JCB. Not this one, not the skid steer, with the fast track just over there. Although we are going to be using this, I do like this. I was told there are some better grabs to use, but really I think we did okay with this one. I think there's a yellow one or something. I'll probably use that in a different episode. But yes, first of all, let's move the chipper. We will of course scoop all this up in a future episode. I don't think there's too much there. If we use the tractor and the front loader, we should be able to get it scooped up in about 5 minutes. Right, so that is all attached. We may have to fold this up. Oh no, we are okay. Oh, tree stump. We are going to have to get a stump grinder for the skid steer. But this is quite a good opening to do this in, despite it being a very tall trailer. But that shouldn't really matter. I think if we're a bit squarer, then that's going to work very well. I'm hoping. I suppose one thing we could do is put the trailer on the lower ground down here, and then put the chipper on the higher ground. If this doesn't work, that is what we'll do. Yes, that stump is completely in the way. Might have to pull the trailer forwards. Anyway, we mustn't crash into the trailer. I'll just get this sorted out, and then we will begin. It looks steep, but it should be fine. Brilliant. Okay, so all we have to do now is obviously detach the JCB. My mouse sensitivity seems to have gone very... Ah, there we go, that's better. Yes, it wasn't very responsive. This should make it much easier to view. Now we're probably going to be actually getting the trees from over here, so we don't want to put the JCB in the way. That is a habit I have got into, which is not a good habit to have. So put that there. As for this chipper here, I don't know if we're going to be using it today. We're going to use it in the future though. And yeah, just keep all that shut down, and we will cut the trees which we're going to use today. First one being this one here. So yeah, somebody did actually say, I think it was only one person, but they said that they slept through this previous episode of this, the other forestry episode. Maybe they were tired, or maybe they just genuinely didn't like the video. But to be honest, I've had it said to me before, in a friendly way, saying your videos are great to send me to sleep, but that is in a good way, like for insomniacs or something. So I kind of take it as a compliment, despite it sounding quite rude. Now we're going to do these in two halves, because I have been told this skid steer loader is actually capable of picking up an entire tree in one go. We won't do that, but we will pick up half a tree. The reason we won't do a full tree is because a full tree is heavy, but also because we won't get it through. The pile is actually completely in the way. But we're going to trial this. If it doesn't work, then we'll cut it up a bit more. But it's always fun to do stuff like this. And I apologise for the clicking of the mouse. It's because the Outtakes side panel isn't configured for the grab, but it is configured for everything else, so there shouldn't be too much clicking. Yes, if that pile wasn't there, this would work perfectly. We have cleared the obstacle. The obstacle really is in the way. But as that is now in position, we can now cut down the next tree. You're probably getting the idea here. It's so we don't have to stop starting the chipper. Now I found this angle the best angle to cut at because most of the time it does fail. On the rare occasion it gets stuck. Oh, it feels weird riding the tree when it's bouncing up and down. Yeah, where is halfway on this tree? About here? That's all good, I think. That should be okay. This tree here, we'll cut down next. Yes, I do regret putting the wood chip pile there. It's a bad place for it to be. We may have to clear it in a second. Go on, tree. Ah, this is a good opportunity to create a frisbee. It is possible to create a frisbee. Right. All we have to do is pull it out and stand back. Come on. Oh, it's glitching. Smash. We have our frisbee. Which we could actually sell. But I've thrown it away now. Okay. So we'll cut this one in half as well, and then we'll begin to chip. 3 trees is actually quite a lot. I don't know how much of the trailer it's going to fill, but in the past I have noticed it's not too bad really. I suppose when you think about it, when a tree is actually chipped down, it will take up quite a bit of space, because they're not exactly light objects, are they? Obviously the type of wood can affect this, but yeah, they're pretty dense. Now, I need to get it as close to the jaws as possible. Hoping that is going to work. Before making a fool of myself, I have just realised that it's not going to fit on the conveyor properly, so we will indeed do them in quarters. This one being the largest of the quarters. Yeah, you see, it's all trial and error. That's what most of my videos are anyway, but yeah, it seems to work. Right, eat. Eat the tree. Eat it. I don't want it. You eat it. Come on. Okay, we'll put the next one in, and that should persuade it to finally process, I'm hoping. Right, there we go. Yeah, the clicking is actually really annoying of the mouse. Some people don't notice it, and actually, I didn't notice it at all until it was pointed out to me, and now I hear it every time. This tree stump is totally in the way. You could say that I have put this in a terrible place, which I actually have. But let's just try and get that in there. Just go in the chipper and we'll be okay. Fantastic. It appears to be working. With a bit of persuasion. But it is going in the trailer, which is obviously very good. Surprised about how weak that conveyor is. It really doesn't want to take it at all. There we go. Right at the end. So yeah, it looks like it really is just designed for tiny bits, even though it's a big chipper. Don't think it should be designed for any tiny bits, it's just this one seems to have a fairly short conveyor. Anyway, yes, what a mess this is. If we took down these trees, we'd have much more space. maybe even just this tree. But whatever we cut today, we will indeed be chipping. Good, that keeps it out of the way. Now, is this too big as well? It may well be. Yep, let's say it is. So we'll trim it down to about this size. It does slow the process down, but it has to be done. That's much better. Just this dreaded tree stump, which is totally in the way. Like, totally in the way. We might even have to get rid of it today, I think. Okay, so we will drop off our grab just here, and we're going to go and get a stump grinder. It is very frustrating. I can't even get to the chipper. It would be cheaper just to move the chipper, but we're going to stump grind anyway, so it's still going to be used. And luckily, the store is right next to us. Probably a bad thing in a way. It is very tempting to keep buying stuff. But a stump grinder shouldn't set us back too far. I'm hoping. Although it could be one of these extravagant items which shouldn't be. We will soon find out. So it's going to be in this category here. I think there's actually several. This is one here. That's for cutting trees down. Oh, there's only one. There is just one. But yes, it's not exactly cheap. In fact, is that the same price as the 3-point linkage mounted one? Where is forestry? Let us discover the forestry section, which I have totally lost. Here it is. Oh no, that is more expensive. Well, how much is it to lease? Yep, that's okay. Don't like leasing, but it's so easy to do. That's why I do it so much. The idea of leasing, short term, is so good, but long term, it's really bad. So I shouldn't get into the habit of leasing. It's just, I have done. So here we are, ready to get rid of the dreaded stump. It really couldn't have been in the worst place, or I couldn't have put this in a worse place. One of the two. Here goes. And this isn't just for one stump, we're going to get rid of them all. There. It has gone. And I think it... Oh no, the wood chips are probably from the other chipper. Work. Disappear. This has happened before. There we go. Good. Right. It would have seemed a bit extravagant to spend £4,500 on this. But like I say, there's probably going to be about 10 to do in total. We'll get the grab attached once again and continue chipping. So I've just finished off the spindly bits from the previous tree. I did that off screen, which means we can now move on to this much chunkier tree, which we're going to cut in half. Yeah, I think if we've got a whole tree and put it into 4 different quarters. That always seems to work the best, or in this case I think I've actually done it into thirds. But as you can see, this one is still a bit too big. Getting it actually onto the conveyor is a little bit tricky. So if we quarter each tree, it should make the entire process very easy. It's getting a bit full as well. Yeah, it doesn't like to chip them. We'll give it a push, and hopefully when one goes through, it'll suck the other 2 through as well. There we go. That is quite a lot of chipping in one go. That trailer must be filling up fast. Although it doesn't look to be filling up at all, but it must be. The chips aren't disappearing. Yeah, I would love to know how much there is actually in that pile. Whoa! Oh no! A hidden stump. I should have ground that one too. Anyway, while we're doing this, probably a good opportunity to discuss the next job you want us to do. Again, there is a choice of 3. Choice number 1 is to mow, row up and bale. Yes, that wasn't going to work. Field number 18, the very big field with the castle in the middle. We'll be doing it as one massive process with following us with 2 tractors. So that is option number 1. Option number 2 is just to generally tidy things up. And option number 3 is to harvest any field. It could be anything. But most likely one which we actually own. It might grab it while we're over here. You never know. We might come back and it'll have gone. And there is this small little spindly-ish bit down here. I suppose it'll get quite chunky at this end. Brilliant. Yeah, I do like the skid steer for this kind of stuff, just because it's so small. You can get into the harder places to get into, where, for example, a great big wheel loader definitely couldn't get to. A tractor with a front loader probably could, but it would be harder. Now this is where it gets challenging. I should have had it the other way round. Yes. Ah, it's grabbed that other tree. It's attempting to process it. Right, go. Just get in there. Not something you want to be doing, chainsawing on the edge of a chipper, but we can actually do this bit by hand. Right, if that moves out of the way, oh, it got thrown. Hopefully this time it's actually going to go in. Good. And now finally, the last longer part of the tree is here. Come on, it's got to process at least one without any help. Come on. You've got to. Is there an extended conveyor you can get for this? Because that would work so well. There could be... I can remember in FS15 there was a mod which I used and it was really good. It made doing the forestry very easy. But no, there doesn't seem to be a conveyor extension. It just seems very short. Not a very big loading area. Yes, that one went straight in. It's all going up the conveyor, alright. So we'll leave this one just to sit on the end until it starts the process, and then we'll have a quick look in the trailer just to see how full it actually is. Right, hopefully that's going to process on its own. Nope, it stopped again. Whoa, it's 85% full. Maybe then, in that case, there is a lot in that pile behind us. It's quite possible, but we're going to be taking this over to the sell point, which is actually not named. It needs to be the Bedfordshire Sawmill. I'm hoping it is going to be there, so we'll take a look. But let's just get one more log in here, possibly this one, and if it does fill the trailer, we will go and sell this. 89%, going very fast. Yes, I think it's actually going to pretty much fill it. It did indeed. The trailer is full. That's very impressive. So we'll shut all that down and we will sell trailer load number 1. Yes, I think in that case there probably is about the same amount behind us. That could be a bit more than a 5-minute job, scooping all that up. It would appear that wood chips are very, very badly paid, but you get a lot of them. As I said, a tree is very dense, so when chipped up, you get a lot of it. It's a heavy load, but it's not too much for our Massey Ferguson. Yeah, if you want to see some more, I suppose, if you want to see more different videos, like not always Farming Simulator over and over, Daggerwin Extra is probably the place for you. I actually put a real life video on yesterday, just to add a bit of variety. I'll probably do some more like that in the future, but yeah, I think really we don't want to be doing just Farming Simulator. Despite Farming Simulator being an amazing game, we don't want it all just to be Farming Simulator. But having said that, all simulator games will be on this channel and not the extra channel. Now yes, this was a bit of a guess coming here. It could well just be for the wood, although around the back of there appears to be some wood chips. That is very tight. We don't want to crash. Mind the transit vans as well. And we'll see how much money we can get for these. I will check the chart and see how much it's worth per 1,000 litres. It won't be very impressive, probably 200 and something pounds I would have thought. And it looks like we may even have to reverse into here, but yes, that is the wood chip sell point. It was a good guess, but the sawmill bit does give it away. Right, so how much is it worth? Let's just take a look. We want wood chips. Oh dear, £208 per tonne. Expected though. That is pretty much what they're worth, although that is the lower end. It does tend to be about 250. I have snookered myself. This is not good. Probably easier from the in-cab view. There we go. Right, so let's reverse into this trigger and we will sell it. Or sell them. It probably is a plural. Oh, well, I'm way off. Yes, it would definitely be a plural. Wood chips. Here goes. The money is very slowly creeping up. However, this will pay for the chipper. The big chipper's leased, the small chipper is bought outright. Yeah, that has paid for the chipper. And we've obviously got 2 loads of this at least. And we have still got more trees to chip. So it turns out, wood chipping, if you've got the patience, is a good thing to do. Well, kind of. In case you're wondering, that is field number 18, with the very picturesque castle in the middle. I actually had a comment yesterday, which said that this person obviously cut it using the butterfly mower on the back and just a single front mower on the front with a worker, and it took 1 hour and 20 minutes. So that gives us a pretty good idea of what to expect. I have done it before, several times. And yeah, it took about 2 hours. So, yeah, if you had a worker, it would pretty much halve the time. But you've got to add a bit of time on because of the amount of time you've got to sort the worker out, as it is a terrible driver most of the time. Unless it's just me. Maybe my workers are terrible. Here we are. Right, so we're back for just one more tree. And then we'll leave it at that. I've had to put the JCB on the chipper because it kept rolling away. Weirdly. So, yes, just this tree down here which we failed to make a clearing. And we're going to cut it up into 4 pieces. It seems to have disappeared into a hedge. But that's okay. We should be able to drag it out. Hopefully. Oh, it does seem to have gone quite a long way into the hedge. And finally we have just this bit on the end. So technically 5 sections, but this is the bit we can do by hand. There we go. Let's load it up, and then we'll call it a day. Probably shouldn't have even dropped this one. No need to. Yeah, I wish there was a handbrake on the chipper. It drives away far too easily. That's the only downside to it. So you've probably had enough forestry. Now I've done 2 episodes on it. Yeah, it's one of those things which some people absolutely love, and some people just really don't like it. Personally, I didn't used to like it in FS15, but I really did get used to it, and I think it's probably because I improved slightly, enough to make it more enjoyable. So now I really love doing forestry. But I can understand, yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. And yes, there seems to be a bit of a bung going on here. Nothing is going in. It's not feeding in properly. And the final log is just here. Once this one is in, we'll push it all. And, well, the trailer should fill up very quickly. Here it goes. Let's move the tractor out of the way. I'll give it a quick push, and it should all process, I'm hoping. Or it will seize the machine. Eat, hungry thing. Seems to be processing alright. Let's go into here. And yes, that's putting quite a lot of wood chips into the trailer. Very impressive. There is one more piece. Is it going to sort itself out? I don't think it is. Going to have to do it manually. Oh, it really has actually jammed in the conveyor. There we go. Crazy thing. Just like a javelin. Whoa! It actually lifted us up. That is weird. There's something deranged about this log. Anyway, yes, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. And until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now. Here we are. We'll just finish off, and then... Whoa, 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 whoa. Why didn't the cruise control stop? I have actually knocked the chipper over. Unbelievable. Oh, I'm a wood chipper. Don't go in the water. My wood chipper has gone. I don't know what's up with it. It just keeps driving away from me.